welcome to the Untouched Quest. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Siri. And we would appreciate if you follow us on Instagram at the Untouched Quest or at the podcast platform of your choice.
Today we're starting our first episode and we're gonna discuss Wolfrider, which I've always seen as the start of the story, as that's what I started reading as a child.
But also it's issue number 9 or readers collection number 9B or something. That doesn't work with my OCD.
Well, that's true. But this is kind of what happens before book 1. So in this book, we meet the protagonist's parents of the whole ElfQuest series, which is Bearclaw and Joyleaf. And we will see a couple of 100 years of their lifetime before the main quest starts.
Yes, and that's one of my first comments for this book. It jumps so much in time. Like, I don't know what page, in the first 10 pages or something, it says like 400 and some years later. Like, did nothing interesting happen in those 400 years?
Well, I guess a lot of interesting things happen, but maybe not everything is relevant to the story.
Yeah, or maybe we're coming back to that later.
Yeah, that can also be very true.
Yes, and humans are so stupid and they believe everything.
Really?
Like these humans, like, are we that stupid?
One of the first things that I wrote down reading this over again was also something having to do with time, and that was the sentence 8 of seasons, which is kind of how they count time.
Yes, but humans also did that back in time. Like here in Norway with the Vikings, we said 7 winters. We counted winters, so that's like seasons.
Yeah, but they count like 8 of seasons and 2 8s of seasons. It goes like in 8s.
Ah, I did not notice that. I thought like 8 years, okay.
Yeah, no, they kind of say later like 2 8s of season and then or 1.5 8 of seasons and such.
Let's make this easy for the readers. Not.
Oh, which is something I also found pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, I did not catch on that.
Well, that's okay. I have read those kind of things more, so I maybe see it a bit more than you would do.
Yeah. Also, like, later when we read on here, the human meets or see no, other way. Elves meet or see the humans. And a funny comment, they were like, oh, last time I saw them, they were just grunting. I was like, they didn't even talk.
Yeah. Another thing that I wrote down about what the what the humans said when they came to the new land, and they said that, hear them, my people, Gotra's wolves welcome us with their song. And later they're gonna be like the wolf demons and their demon wolves.
So
but they started the whole thing off saying that these wolf demons were Gotra's wolves welcoming them to this new land, which I also found pretty hilarious.
Yes, and the humans and their demons, they're just like, what is this? I don't understand. It's demons. Oh, what is this? I never seen it. It's demons. That's their answer.
Demons.
Answer for everything is demons.
Yeah, of course, because that's the best way to go about strange new things, is calling it demons.
Yeah. And also, like, they're elves is like, oh, I'm gonna offend these humans. Oh, they have 5 fingers. These 5 finger creatures and round ear creatures. I'm being so mean.
Yeah. They're like hating on them for
And then the
having an
human-
extra finger and round ears.
And then the humans, you're demons. Oh, you round ears.
Best comebacks ever, you demon, you round ear.
Yes, but also humans are so easily scared. There's one scene, I think Bearclaw like puts on the skin of the bear or something, and he moves around and he's just like boo, and the humans are like scared to the shit out. Like,
Yeah.
well, that's not that scary. It's just a bear, isn't it?
It's just a bear, but
No, it's
for them it was
demons.
really, really scary.
It's demons.
It's totally demons. And I also love the part where they said that the dead bear was a gift from Gotra, and in reality it was the elves that killed it and couldn't take it back.
Or they were like, they kind of have it this time. I don't care fighting with these people.
Yeah, and that was like the human sign that this was their holy land where they just had to stay for the rest of eternity. They were destined to be there.
Yeah, also, they haven't said it, but I feel that the elves know that human live shorter than the elves.
Yeah, they do. They see humans' lives go by a lot. And this is not the first time that the Wolfriders have seen humans, as they do state in the Wolfrider that when Mantricker was young, which is Bearclaw's father, he would obviously trick humans. As his name states, he's a man-tricker.
Mm-hmm.
So they do know that the humans live quite shorter lives than the elves do, as elves have very long lives.
Yes, that's also confusing. They live for thousands of years.
And they still look very young.
Mm-hmm.
I do not really know of any elves that looks like an elder. They say that call some of their tribe mates later on for elders or old ones, but they don't look old.
No.
They're just older.
like the one that I feel is like older is Tree Stump, but he doesn't look old either.
But he isn't old. Bearclaw is a lot older than Stump is. Bear Stump.
Tree Stump. Who's this guy? I wanna meet him.
Yeah, Tree Stump isn't old. Bearclaw is a lot older than him. Quite a lot actually. As Bearclaw is kind of an elder in the Wolfrider book, whilst the other ones are quite young.
But also, I guess maybe I will get explained this time counting a little more later in the story. It's a little confusing.
It's a good thing you think you will.
Don't say that.
Though in the Wolfrider books, time kind of goes by a lot faster than later in the story, as this is not the main story. It's just stories in Cutter's parents' story
Yeah.
that they feel like they need to tell to get the full picture.
Yeah, because that's a little annoying. Like, oh, 3 years later, oh, 4 years later, I was like, but something had to happen. I want to know.
Yeah. And that's also a great thing about the Wolfriders, is that they have this thing that's called the Way. Do you know what the Way is?
No. Should I? Have I missed something?
Yeah, they talk quite a lot about the Way in Wolfrider, especially how Bearclaw lives very much by the Way and swears by it.
Is it how they talk with their...
No, that's
Thinking?
sending.
Oh.
That's sending. The Way is a way of living and thinking of how they live in the now. They live in the moment. They don't think about tomorrow or yesterday or 2 years ago.
How did I miss this?
I don't
Which
know.
which page did I skip?
Well,
Like, where
quite a
is this?
lot. Like they
Where?
talk about this, like how, for how I've always seen Bear Claw is he's a very cruel and ruthless chief.
Yeah,
He's
he
strict.
do things before his brain start working.
Yeah, he does. He is quite impulsive, and he does what he feels like. He does care a lot about his trial mates, but he also at the same time does quite a lot that might hurt them and make them feel uneasy. Um, yeah, he's not a very kind um, chief.
But is
Uh,
that like how all the other chiefs have been? Did
no,
like
it
before
is
him? Since
Bearclaw's
that's like the
personality.
way.
It's his personality, but the way is about living in the now and not thinking about the time flowing around them. They live in the moment and has to grip every moment to live their lives because they're not supposed to count the flow of time.
But also they know how many seasons that passed, so they are counting.
They are counting seasons like this was this many seasons ago that this happened, but they don't dwell on the past. They don't think about, oh, this person hurt themselves or hurt me 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 1,000 years ago. They don't think about these kind of things. They like think of it in the now, like this is happening right now and I'm angry right now. They also don't worry about tomorrow because that's not how they live. They live in the now, they live in a moment, and it's gripping every moment.
Okay, I kind of missed that. Well, now I know.
Yeah. And I've also written a little bit about Joyleaf and how she's very, very different from Bearclaw.
Yes, I also pointed out that, but also like they kind of go together because Joyleaf knew someone like Bearclaw to like make her go out of her comfort zone, but Bearclaw needs someone to like keep him home sometimes so he doesn't do bad stuff.
Yeah, she's very calm and collected. She tries to control Bearclaw's outrageous and stupid ideas and get him to understand that this is maybe not the best idea. Let's think a little bit more about this before we go do this thing.
Mhm.
Um, and let's not be so impulsive. They kind of fulfill each other. It's a balance. Like they balance everything in each other. She's so calm and collected at the same time as she can be quite fierce.
Yeah, but can't be all sometimes
No,
when you push the right buttons.
no. They can all get enough sometimes.
So also I noticed that they call children cubs, so they're like taking points from wolves
Yeah.
into their own, what to say, like way of living or whatever. Like since they get cubs, not children. That's the only one I was thinking about, but there's probably more.
Yeah, no,
They howl like wolves
yeah,
do.
they have like wolves. They're Wolfriders. They have a connection with the wolves,
Yes.
which actually stems back to the first Wolfrider. I'm not gonna tell you everything. I'm not spoiling. It goes back. But you're gonna know more about that later when I get more of the backstory of the Wolfriders and the 10 chiefs. That's been before Cutter.
But also then it's really funny the scene where the Wolf Rider is like, oh, the humans, they're soon gonna leave. They never leave, and they're like, oh, let's try and scare them away. They
Yeah.
take all the berries, they go and steal from their traps when they put out traps. And they're sitting in the bush laughing of the humans because they don't understand a shit.
Yeah. And also this went very wrong this, trying to scare them away and get them away.
Oh yes, because Gotora did it. They testing them.
Yeah, but it did go very wrong for the elves, as this cost them the life of Bear Claw and Joy. No, not Bear Claw. Of Crescent.
Who's that?
You don't know
Oh,
Crescent?
the girl swimming in the water.
Yeah.
The mermaid. I was like, oh, there's mermaids in this story. How cool. And I
Wow,
was like,
she's
oh,
not
no,
a mermaid.
It's not a mermaid.
She's Moonshade and Bear.
Not Bear Claw.
No.
I know who Bear Claw
Strong
is.
bow. No, not Joy. Oh my god, my brain is. Okay. Yeah, she's Moonshade and Strongbow's daughter, their firstborn cub.
Yes.
And also this moment, you know, when an elf is dead. You could see it on the parents the moment it happened, that they were in shock.
Yes, but it's like they always have this connection with their family. So when a family member dies, they immediately know without seeing it.
Yeah, it's like
they're
with a
feeling
loved
it.
one.
Yeah.
They have this connection, and also with sending. If somebody goes completely still and has no sound to their mind anymore, it's kind of a sign that they're dead, which is obviously not a good sign.
But also, like, I think it's pretty smart of the elves to pick up the human's tongue. Like they said in the beginning, last time I saw them, they were just grunting. But obviously now they're communicating, but I don't understand. But they learn their language. They
Yeah.
learn how to communicate with them. And the humans are not that smart. They don't want to learn the demon language. Like the elves can
They
talk
don't even
about
try to learn the demon language.
like they can talk about strategy. They can say right in front of them, you take that boy, I take the other one, and they don't know.
Yeah.
The humans can't do that.
No, because they literally don't understand their language. And also, I lost my train of thought.
Language?
No, I lost it.
Okay, also I have written down here that from now on we will call you One Eye. Did he have a different name before? Did we hear his name before?
No, they didn't say his name before. I don't remember One Eye's first name. But a lot of elves changed names during their life as they changed. As One Eye ended up having his eye cut out, he's now One Eye because he has one eye.
Yeah, but I got so confused. I was like, who was he before? Like, did we ever get his name? Or was it just
No.
like,
That's kind of.
oh, he had a name. You don't get to know that name, but he's One Eye now.
Yeah, no, that's the first panorama or the first time he's like named and has become a real character, so to speak, where we've really seen him do something. But it's going to be important for the rest of the story, like later.
One Eye or
One Eye.
changing names?
One Eye. But changing names also happens later.
Oh, and also, one other thing is like, with the humans, I feel that they don't choose the chiefs by like the son of the chief will become the new chief.
No, and
The
they're
chief
not
like
the
look at
chief is a shaman.
oh, the shaman then. But then like he just look at all the young boys uh, like at the tribe, and he just choose the one that's more willing to do his stuff.
Yeah, that's most willing to follow the current shaman
Yeah.
and be led down the right way of Gotra. Which is, I think, the word that we hear the most in Wolfrider.
Kotara.
Gotra!
Yeah. They really love Gotora.
If I was that god, I'd be so annoyed that they were using my name that much. Like, it's crazy.
Imagine if you had a lot of people who really wanted to take part of your life and they'd be like, Elizabeth, 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 every second.
Oh, I hear that every day at work.
Yeah, well, this is different though. Imagine at home as well.
Yeah. No,
Go
I
to
get to
the
go home
store.
from all of the kids
And be
and
like-
not hear Elizabeth anymore.
And be like, oh, what do you want, Elizabeth? I do whatever you want, Elizabeth.
Whatever,
do you want me to do this,
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth?
Oh my god. You know,
You're
I get
gonna
en-
go crazy.
I get enough at work.
It's hard to be a god.
Yeah. I think that's what we take out of this. It's hard to be a god.
Oh yeah, there's also like one episode where they
Episode. Do you have episodes?
or we're called like something happening where the humans catch one of the wolf couplings
Yeah.
and they go to take it back because they look at the wolves as one of the family.
Yeah, it's crescents.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, it's just a wolf, we can get a new one. It's like, we need that one.
Yeah, it's a specific one. They like connect with them on a different level.
And they have one age.
Yeah. It's their wolf. It's
But
not
also, is
our
it
wolf.
like, because I feel there is not enough wolf for the elves. Is it some of the elves who doesn't get a wolf?
No, all of them have their own wolf friends.
Okay,
And
so it's
whenever
just
their
we
wolf
don't get
friend-
introduced to them.
Yeah. We only got introduced to the ones that's the most relevant for the moment. Later on, you will be introduced to all of the wolves of all of the elves. But now all the wolf riders have their own wolf, and as their wolf friend gets old, they will get a new one. I think it's also very great to see after Kristen's death how you can see how it goes in on them, not only on her parents. Like Strongbow is really distraught about it. He goes kind of crazy. But
Yeah, like
also
they're
Bearclaw.
all a family. It's not like my family and your family. It's like
No.
we are a family.
Yeah, you can see Bearclaw really struggles with it, and he drinks and he kills the shaman, and he goes really hard. Though as a kid, I did not realize that Dreamberry wine was wine, an alcoholic beverage. Even though like Bearclaw literally pass out from
Yeah,
drinking
well,
this stuff.
we're kids. We are innocent.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of sex in this stuff. And one thing that I thought about was like how enjoyable to be with your soulmate and you're having sex but you don't have to talk. Like you're so intimate and you're just like in each other's head.
Yeah.
That's a whole new level of
And the
having
other thing
sex.
about
But
sending
kids don't understand.
no. The other thing about sending is you can't lie in a sending. You can only tell the truth.
So you know if you're good.
Yeah. You literally am not able to lie when you send. So that's great.
And also another thing that I noticed, they don't call it clothing. They call it their leather.
Yeah.
So that's also a little bit more sexy in my mind. It's like we're all like a man in leather, right?
But that's also because they don't have cloth.
True.
They only use the leather from the animals that they eat.
Yeah. They don't use wolf.
No. They
Like,
do not.
but wolf live shorter than lives, obviously, because the elves live thousands of years.
Yeah.
Why, if my wolf may die, I would like to wear my wolf mate.
Yeah,
Is
they
that not
don't. They
allowed?
don't do that. It's like
Use,
wearing your
say-
dog. Would you
Well,
wear your dog if she
Yeah,
died?
if people wouldn't shoot me, but they probably would.
You know, they don't wear wolf's fur. They let the rest of the wolf pack go, like bury them, like take for a
Mm.
while.
Yeah, and also in Bearclaw's mind, blood revenge is the way of working.
Yeah, that's the only
Um,
way. That's the only way.
Now that I don't know her name, the mermaid,
Crescent.
died.
Yeah, blood
uh,
revenge is the only way of revenge.
yeah.
And also for when his wolf gets poisoned and dies. Blood is also the only resolution to that. Like, death is the only resolution to more death.
But also, when what's her name again?
Crescent.
Crescent. When Crescent dies, her father is like, "Oh, we gotta go kill them," but Bearclaw is like, "No." But he does the same thing himself when the wolf die.
Yeah, yeah, and that's Bear Claw.
Like
He's
Bearclaw is like
trying.
slapping her father and like, "Don't go."
Yeah, yeah, she actually does it. She struck Strongbow. And later on, you're gonna see that the fact that he struck Strongbow is pretty crazy.
He
Um,
basically like knock him out of conscious, so he's not gonna go.
yeah, but also Bear Claw is his chief, so he does have the rule, and
But
he's an elder compared to Strongbow.
but also he's like, "We're not gonna go back to the humans. They're gonna kill more of us." And then one of the wolves die, and he's like, "We're going right back there." Like
Yeah,
the opposite thing he said like
yeah.
a couple of pages before.
And what's so great about that scene when he's going to go kill those humans for his wolf is when you see really how strong Joyleaf is. Like, you always see her as this really kind, caring, loving, soft woman, but she's so fierce. Like, she gets her wolf to run down after Bear Claw, um, lay on him so he's stuck on the ground, and then she binds him so he's stuck. And she just growls at Strongbow, and he's like, "You can't do that to her, chief. It's not right."
But
Um,
why did she do that again?
because he wanted to go kill the humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also when he went to kill the humans, he saw that stone that the human have. What do they call it? The stone with the skulls on? They
Yeah.
call it something special.
They call it something.
That's also a human stupid thing. Like
Pillar of sacrifice.
yeah, stupid things.
Yeah, they put the elf skulls on it, which is
The
pretty.
demon skulls. They're not elves.
No, right, demon skulls, of course. Everything's demons. Because a demon can die, right? You can kill a demon.
No, you have to get a priest and what is it called? This
Exorcist?
Yeah, all this
Yeah.
shit, and this is way before that time, so they're screwed.
Yeah. They are totally screwed. Demons are not, yeah. And here's something about the way. And give us the way, the now of the wolf thought. The true Wolfrider lives in the now and does what must be done.
Well, kill humans.
Yeah, it's the thought of being in the literal now and doing what feels right at this very moment. Not thinking about the past or the present. And I think it's all really ballsy of Joliffe to just be like, yeah, I left him his sword near him. He can get loose if he gets to New Moon. It's alright.
I didn't understand who New Moon was.
Oh,
Who New Moon was. I was like, did he put another elf
no,
beside
no,
him? And I was
that's
like,
his knife.
oh,
That's his knife.
He's that kind of person who names dead objects.
Well, he didn't do that. It is actually a sword, as they call it, made by Two Egg, which is half wolf, no, half elf, half troll, and he named the knife. Bearclaw didn't.
Oh, okay.
Two Edge did.
But also the other people in the tribe, they don't dare like standing up to Greenleaf, like they're like,
Joyleaf?
oh, Joyleaf, Greenleaf.
I think we're a bit tired today.
Yeah, because they could go and help him, but they're like, okay, we don't want her to be mad.
Yeah, well, she is the life mate of the chief.
But
So
also
she
they
is the
want to help.
chiefess.
But they want to help the chief,
Yeah, but
right?
she has authority over them
Yeah.
because she's his life mate. He chose her as he's the chief.
But
So
they're sending and they're like, she's wrong.
yeah,
So
they
go
they
help your chief then.
they don't
But
agree.
they
But they don't dare to challenge her on it.
they fear her. She's
Yeah, but she is a very strong character, and she has a very strong will. She's not afraid to do what must be done.
yeah.
And I think it's really, really beautiful when Bear Claw finally gets out and he holds at the moon, and this jet black wolves comes over to him, and he just drives back into the hold and picks up Joy Leaf, and everything is great again.
But she's like, nope.
Yeah. Uh,
All the people in the tribes are like, oh, where did you find that wolf? It's amazing. It's like something new, something different. And she's like,
yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you have to say sorry.
Yeah. On the next page, something I really wanted to talk about is when you see with tragic results from the elves, Chalet and Ihai. And it's like, see in years 5. Well, in the books that I read as a child, their story was a part of it. So you could read about how Chalet and High Eyes died and who they are, as they are Skywise's parents. And he is a really important character in ElfQuest. He's like one of the
Yeah, Skywise.
main protagonists in the story. And it's a really sad story, and it's a story about accidents that went wrong, and it's really, really sad. And you get to see these humans with High Eyes skull on their stone, and you see some panorama pictures of Skywise growing up. But I
Yeah,
think
and it
it's-
takes a village
yeah,
to raise him.
it does. It does. He doesn't have any parents, so he got to rely on the village. But I think it's really sad that like we don't in the Wolfrider from the old Readers Collection, you don't get their story like it did in the DC books.
But it comes later. We're gonna get
You
it.
can read it in years, which is more like a lot of side stories and other stories that doesn't follow the main storyline.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad. And after this, again, you get to see how sorrow takes over Bear Claw.
Yeah, well, he's basically drinking away his sorrows.
Yeah.
Like all
Um,
grown-ups do, right?
Yeah, and that goes very well, as you'll see, as he is gone from the Tribalod, and he hits Joyleaf.
Yeah, it makes it worse. She's gonna get even madder at him.
Yeah, she is pretty mad. He hit her, which nobody does, and she freezes him out for quite a long time. Doesn't
And
look at him.
who was it? Someone, I think is Tree Stump. They're like, oh, she's just giving him the silent treatment. It's
Yeah.
gonna pass.
Yeah.
And Skywise is like, when?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe a couple 1,000 years. Who knows?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Like, she's giving him the silent treatment. This has happened before. She's strong. We don't know when this is gonna go over.
Yeah. It's like a couple 1,000 years.
Yeah. The funny thing is how it actually, so to speak, fixed itself. Is that they went on a bear hunt.
Yeah, but that also fun thing. Like Bear Claw is like, it's time to take this bear. He's like, are you coming, Joyleaf? She's like, is that an order or a question?
Yeah.
It's like,
Like,
if it's
I'm
a
not
question,
taking-
I'm not going.
I'm
but
not
since
taking any of your bullshit.
since you're my chief, I have to go if it's an order.
But I don't wanna.
And he's like, okay, it's an order then. You have
And they
to
go
come with
out
me."
and they really enjoy it.
Yeah, well, it's their instinct, right? They
Yeah.
are hunters.
They are.
She enjoys it too. Like, you saw how she tackled her.
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
she tackled him. Like,
And this is a pretty rough fight. And I really, really love this picture of the both of them over the wolf, no, over the bear when they killed it right
yeah,
before
but
they recognized.
also, isn't it if Joyleaf was there, Bear Claw would have been dead, right? Like,
Yeah.
she basically saved his life.
Oh, she did. He wouldn't have made it without her. But I really, really love that picture. I really want to
Yeah,
have a
when
photo
they're
shoot like it.
on top of the bear,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, you saved my life." She's like, "You better thank me now, and
Yeah.
never gonna fuck because that's like makeup sex." That's
No,
how.
they had recognition. They
Oh,
recognize each other.
they didn't do that before.
No. If they recognize, they have a baby. They don't have a baby.
Shit, I think I misunderstood it.
No, no, no,
I
no,
thought
no.
when you recognize, it's the sign that you can be boyfriend girlfriend.
Yeah, no. It's and more wonderful still. Once again, the ancient urge to recognition catches him in a
Okay.
grip far stronger than that of the rampaging bear. As they recognize each other, get each other's soul name, and that's when they can make a baby.
So I thought recognition was like you have to recognize to be together.
No,
To
they can
make a
choose
ki-
to be love mates, but the moment you recognize your life mates, because then you're
Ah.
kind of mated for life. Like they can recognize several people, but like recognition is usually how you go from love mate to life mate. Some people have
Okay.
children with ones they're not recognized
I
with.
looked at it some kind of like Christian thing. Like you have to recognize to have sex or to be together.
Oh no,
Like,
there's
you
pictures of
have
them
to
having
marry-
sex before.
Like you have to marry before.
But you
so
didn't
I
see
thought-
the other sex pictures in
Yeah,
it?
but I thought they recognized long before.
No,
like,
they didn't.
They recognize every time before they have sex. like,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, no, they only recognize once.
Ah.
But I think that these
So they
pictures
only can have one kid.
no. But they have like one main recognition where they
So they
recognize.
can have only one recognized kid. One kid
No.
that's approved from God. No.
No.
just kidding.
Let me rephrase that. You like recognize when you get a kid, and years later, if you're lucky, you can recognize again.
Ah,
Not
okay.
many elves have several children. Where Moonshade and Strongbow is a couple that has several. As Crescent was their first, and they're gonna have one later, which is Dart, which is from their second recognition,
Ah, okay.
and they can also recognize others even if they're not their mates.
Mhm.
And some elves don't believe in recognition, like the Sun Village. They don't believe in it.
Spoiler.
But I really remember, I really love these pages of them having sex because it's so scenic and beautiful.
It's really like you don't see any.
Private parts,
Yeah, like you see their butts, but that's
but that's about
basically
it.
Like a lot of skin. Not you don't even see them kissing. You
No.
see like their lips.
Yeah,
You see that they are
But elves
kissing, but
don't
not
kiss.
directly. Oh
or you never see elves kiss.
no, but this leaves a lot to your imagination, though.
It does, and I always love this.
But
We
when
made
you
a
read it
cub,
as-
beloved.
when you read this as a 10-year-old,
Yeah.
what was your thought? Like, did you see like, ugh, they were having sex, or like, do you remember?
What I remember best is this bubble with this sending, which is we have made a cub, beloved, who is all we are and more, and it was like they sexed, like we say in Norwegian.
Oh, you didn't.
As a kid, like say sexa.
Yeah. Well, you didn't understand before that they had sex.
No,
You were like, oh, they're hugging.
they're like a naked dance. But no, before that bubble, I didn't realize they were having sex.
But well, it's really beautiful though when they're like, we have made a cub, beloved.
Yeah, it's
Like-
all that we are and more.
But also, I was like, Yeah, right. You just had sex. You don't know if you're pregnant or not, lady.
But they recognize, so they
Yeah.
do know that there's a child coming.
Yeah. Well,
There's actually science behind it. Recognition means kid.
yeah. Well, we're gonna see that kid for the next episode, though, because we have to end it here for today.
We do. And that's assignment. There's also a big time jump in that episode.
Yes, some maybe 1,000 year, something close to that.
Yeah.
And we're probably gonna get 1,000 more years in the next.
Yeah.
Part.
No, the next parts are going to go a bit slower, as there's a lot of happens in the hero's journey
Yeah.
after that.
Well, I guess we will see you. No, we don't see you. We hear you in the next episode.
We will hear you all in the next episode.
And in the meantime, go recognize a troll.